Okay.
The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here.
Yo, ha. Yeah, you have now entered Squared Circle 101. You got your man, the Italian stallion, Mr. Sonny up in here. Now with me, this dude has more women than you with just the names, letters beginning in A. My man Shoota, he's got a long phone book. The lost phone book is what you're looking for. The black book.
You know you used that already, right?
It wasn't recorded. Make sure you hit us up on Facebook.com/Squared Circle 101, or hit us up on Instagram at Squared Circle 101, or talk a little smack like this fool at Talking Smack 101 on Twitter. And don't forget to download that Squared Circle app, baby. We are here to discuss the sweet science. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling great. It's we got these fights. A lot of these fights are going to take care real fast. We'll take over quick, but I like when we just talk about a whole bunch of news and business. I'm happy about doing that part today.
Current
also,
events.
I want to let everybody know, the audience know. Apologize for last week's episode. The sound quality wasn't where it usually is. We're learning how to do it ourselves, and it's trial and error. But the great thing about that is, once it's figured out, we're gonna be better because it'll be out real quick, on time, in the day of.
It's going to be less names to mention later, because you know how brothers get. Sometimes we can get that long list of shout-outs. So we got to make sure we manage and maintain this list of shout-outs.
We still going to shout them out, but also that. And then I forgot what it was, though, and we will start correcting our errors, because I found out when I was listening. So that's the first time I ever listened to our own show. I found out that we had some errors, but
right now there's people listening like, you guys been correcting your errors. Like, we have been, because I usually get a text from my pops all the time. So, yeah. Thank you for listening to the show. I'm glad I got a new fan. Everybody appreciate it. Now, one shout-out I want to give it out to my man, Lo, at imrcf.com/contact. My man, Shoota, he's been doing this. Has become a ritual. He's been going there so much, they had to create new workouts for him. First, it was the RX Plus. Then now it's the Plus. I'm not sure what's going on here. They were measuring body inches or something.
Now we're working on something called Villain now, man. It's a little elite thing, man, but it's crazy, man. Your boy's getting strong over here.
Does it involve a snatch and grab and clean and jerk?
Always.
Get your towels ready. Make sure you hit them up. imrcf.com/contact. You get the 3-week trial. You just tell them Sonny sent you. You tell them Shoota sent you, and they'll be like, "Oh, it's cool. Come on in."
That's what you should have used. Snatch and snatches.
Snatch and snatches.
Snatch and snatches.
That's the name of a female rock group, is what that sounds like there. Now, are you ready to get down with this? Because I'm feeling good. How are we going to feel better? You ready?
The process can be just as exciting as the final product.
Ooh, except going to jail.
No, because the process the process of going to jail is almost worse than going to jail. Going to court, being arraigned, all that, it's kind of hesitating. At least when you're in jail,
What's
you're
worse,
in jail.
Going to court or always bumping into people you know at court?
Neither is good.
Neither is good. But you had to pick one. Which would you rather?
No. The reason why I picked this quote is because, think about it. Say we had a final end game to this show, it wouldn't be as fun being at the end of it as far as me meeting up with you weekly to do this.
Yeah.
So it's like, I can't stand you, but I really appreciate you, man, because this is something. Oh man, shout out to Pops, man, who told me I was his favorite son, and then also shouting us out on 101 episodes.
101. The lessons begin here. That's what it is. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Square Circle 101.
Chin
and
down.
101 Chin down.
Brought back the Mangria. Hopefully be our first sponsor. Now, sometimes you sip on too much Mangria, you get your head spinning. Give me that quote one more time and we'll move on, actually.
Sometimes the process can be just as exciting as the final product.
Ooh. That's chasing the girl. That's exactly what that is.
It really is.
100%.
It really is, man. Yep. You think it's getting them? Nah, the process of getting them is.
That's why sometimes when you get them, you're just like, you think back, you start looking at them. What did I do that for? I guess I was okay. Was I really that desperate? I don't know. Now.
Anyway, let's get to business
because we had the Mangria here, and one of the things I want to talk about is sometimes you can see a punch get your head spinning afterwards or during. This first matchup, we didn't even mention this. We're going to talk about the first two just based off of word of mouth and highlights. The first one is this dude, O'Hara Davies versus Paul Kumanga. We've seen O'Hara Davies fight once when Gervonta Davis beat him, and that's probably the only time. And I don't even think we mentioned it on the show.
No, I don't think we mentioned it on the show. I'm guessing Gervonta Davis did it by knockout.
Not like this.
Yeah.
So we bring it up because we take pride in being the creator of the KTFO, at least the hashtag 100%, that is all us. So anybody, feel free to use it anytime you see a what you would call a world star knockout. Hashtag that KTFO. If you don't know, you've never seen the movie Friday. If you've never seen Friday, I'm surprised if you're listening. Now that's how that one goes. We're just gonna go right into this one because this is like it's like when you had your head spinning. It's that this dude actually lived it.
Okay, let's go. All right, let's roll film. Roll film. Let's go.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh. See.
He went the other way.
The thing is, I think we've covered this before. That's called a Perrier. It's used in ballet, so it's like when you put your toes together and you turn around. I think Mark Wahlberg did this in The Other Guys when he was making fun of the guys who's doing ballet. Mm-hmm. It's stiff leg. Like my boy, whenever I have a drink with my boy Anthony, he always tells me, "Hey, straighten your legs out." That's exactly what my man right here did, man. You can only watch that so many times.
Yeah,
get up, get him out of here. Get him out of here.
What would be worse, that kind of knockout or the Bambi legs? Like getting up and
the Bambi legs is always going to be the GOAT knockout for me, just for the simple fact that when Zab Judah got up from the Kasazu, he pointed out like, "Hey, I got this under control. You got up too quick, bruh. Your legs." Your computer short-circuited in your brain. That's what happens when stuff like gets rattled.
Not at all.
Your legs get from under you, and you can't control your own body, man.
And one thing I like about that saying, because it's self-explanatory, kids that never seen the cartoon get it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's what I love about that. So O'Hara, I'm not sure. Davies. I should get this one right. O'Hara Davies, got it. That's a good one. It's a highlight reel. I went and looked it up just because of the word of mouth, and I'm proud that I did. It was entertaining, and I believe this man has earned a spot in the Squared Circle app.
Okay.
We need to get in there. Now, while we are on the topic of KTFOs, this is more of just a knockout, this new prospect from Golden Boy, Virgil Ortiz. Another one. Got a text from my pops. He's like, "Yo, have you seen this kid?" Never seen him. Looked up his highlights. Pretty interesting guy. He's got good style. He's one of these few young cats that he's got 10 to 13 fights, and they started talking to him about title shots and stuff, and he was quick to say, that's always the goal, but I'm
not ready. I like that. You gotta have confidence in the sport, but at the same time, you also gotta have smarts, man.
Don't let your pride make those decisions all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Now that's another one we're gonna go into here. So let's get ready and just roll this one. Also, let me go ahead and click the button as I throw my gang signs. And this was on ESPN Golden Boy, man. ESPN, man. I'm still not the biggest fan, but I do give him props for that one. And last year was the year of the body stature.
Yeah, but it looks like we had some, these are called honorable mentions.
Yes.
So straight to the gut. And me and you were talking about this. That's nice, man. Left hook to the body. We were talking about this before I left the house, and I was asking you, like, if you go down by a body shot, not knock down, but just go down, what is the percentage of people who actually get up from it, man?
Off the top of my head, I was only able to name one.
Yeah,
I can only name one.
And the thing is, man, what's beautiful about the sport is I spend a lot of time in a lot of different boxing groups, just observing and surveying and see what else people got. And what I love about this sport is it's so many different opinions, and honestly, a lot of times nobody's really wrong.
Yep.
Everybody will have their opinion. Like boxing is one of those sports is like it's a lot of things are easily debatable, but I'm not gonna know off the top of my head or something like that, but like I just from recent memory, not that many people get up. If you go down, unless you're saved by the bell by getting up, like a lot of times you stay down. You stay down on that.
And there's never like a lucky body punch. Never lucky body punch. That's math. That's calculation. That was perfectly landed. Versus if you get knocked out from like a regular head knockdown or the flash knockdown, you made a mistake and got caught.
Yeah.
There was no way to stop that body punch because it might have been math being planned from round one, just didn't get you to round 7.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that'll snatch the air out of you.
Especially when you're throwing a punch too,
because Denzel in Man and Fire when he was talking to Mark Anthony, he was like, "If you say anything right now, I'll get up and snatch
your life right out of you.
Snatch it right out of you." And that's the same feeling too. That is like when you get your air knocked out.
Yeah.
Man, that hurts. To actually get that when it gets snatched from me like that. Yeah. No, you save face with me at least. You save face. So this is a name. I'm sorry that it's still a little awkward to be Virgil and Ortiz. But it makes perfect sense when I see the Hispanic, but the Virgil, is the G silent?
Verhil.
That would make sense to me. That would make sense. But we'll see what's up with that, man. Hopefully we'll see more of this cat. I'm glad that he's humble. Now let's move on to this guy, Mickey Roman. We talked about him last week.
Mickey
right?
Roman.
Mickey Roman.
You just call him Moron? Mickey Moron?
I might have slipped, but I like this cat. Mickey Roman. Can you pull up his record? We've talked about this guy's record before. Because this is one of these guys who doesn't get the spotlight normally at this stage of their career, just based on the numbers alone, right?
Was this Miguel Roman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at an article just the other day saying Canadian boxer admit they're a loser. And it started going to some of these current fighters who had current records, active at like 2 wins and 276 losses. Can these guys admit they're a loser? No. We've gone through that top 20 list. One of the best shows ever. You know?
So what are we looking at? Yeah. So
What's his record?
60-12 now, 47 knockouts.
In his age. We brought this up before.
32.
32. How often have me and you seen this since we've doing the show?
Very rare.
Yeah.
Very rare. Like
Very
honestly, this at that young, because 60 fights at 32 years, that's really young.
Yeah, usually we're looking at an old dude in the ring, right? Typically an old guy in this ring, but most likely no amateur background, just guessing. His last 2 wins, first one was against Orlando Salido.
No. His last, I was just looking at something up real quick.
Yeah.
So his the fight before last was Orlando Salido.
Yes.
So I was looking at, he fought Takashi Miura. We went over this already.
That's the one where he really got on the scene because that was his first.
You get that many fights. Let me see. We have 4 fights in 2003.
Man, busy.
5 fights in 2004.
Ooh, tough year.
And so it's just like he's just cranking them out every few months.
Yeah, no, that's probably where those losses came in.
Well, no, his losses came in once he started going up, but a lot of these were in the U.S. though.
Okay. So
I mean, a lot of these were in Mexico. So a lot of these fights.
This is before Trump was president. I don't want to hear about anything else. He got in. We let him go home. It's simple, very simple, and with his kids. By the way.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Well, hey, if anything, maybe he listens to the show. Wouldn't be bad. Wouldn't be bad at all. Wouldn't be bad. I like red. Wouldn't really vote that way. But Mickey Roman, that's what I'm talking about. I love it when they get these American nicknames on these Hispanic Mexican dudes like this. But Mickey Roman is here, and I think he identifies the opportunity and is definitely wanting to capitalize on it. So his next matchup is definitely going to be a well-tested matchup. Now, he went in against Mitchell Marcano. Where's this guy from? We like Colombia or something? Is that what we said? Because we know we think he have an inflated record, right?
He's from Venezuela.
Venezuela. What's his record?
He's 17-1 now with 14 knockouts.
Yeah, so inflated record. Fought a lot of Venezuelan fighters. Nothing wrong with that. That's just how it is. But then he got dismantled. And got dismantled pretty bad.
Second round knockout.
Now, you ready to roll this one too?
Yeah.
Let's roll this one. Now, this was a big test for Mickey Roman because it was his first fight in his home crowd. Ooh.
So, yeah, another body shot.
That's another one. Snatched the life right out of you right there. Ooh.
It just dropped instantly.
Just
Legs come from under you, man.
Did you like how he sunned him right there when he was like?
Stood right over him.
there.
You know why? I don't even know any
him.
I don't even know any backstory toward that. But I guarantee you, he had to be running his mouth. You don't like like even when boxers don't like each other, they usually show love or something like that. I mean, of course, if there's some bad blood, but usually there's at least some form of respect.
You
dap it out. But like when you stand over somebody like that, somebody was running their mouth because that's the only time it's just like, hey, you got slept. You got hurt. That's what I do in here in the hurt business.
Time to teabag you. That's what he said. I'm not sure how to say it in Spanish. I think it's Lipton or something like that. But Mickey Roman,
I know it's huevos en la cara.
That's right.
En la cara.
Nice. The only Espanol we know.
Balls in the face.
The only Espanol you know. Did you learn that on the basketball court?
No, I didn't learn on the basketball. I took Spanish for a while, man, so I know a lot of words. I can understand it.
Like took Spanish, like girlfriends from other dudes?
That's too.
Okay.
Well, I like that.
Did you get college credit for that?
Yeah, man, I was in AP courses, and I was in advanced Spanish when it was that.
You know what I'm saying? That's what we talked about. Mickey Roman. I think this guy's gonna get. Is he a current champion? I should know this, but I don't.
Doesn't look like it at 130.
130. So let's see the 130 division. This is a nice little division. It's got some names in there, but no big names because it's usually passing through is what it is. You 126, the next is 135. That's where the money is. So who's in 130 that we know?
Miguel Burchell, who we're going to cover, Gervonta Davis. Looks like the IBF and the WBO is vacant right now. But you got Ryan Garcia in there, Tevin Farmer. These are some of the names that's on Lee Selby. He's Jason Sosa, Yuriokis Gamboa.
You got some good names in there.
You got some, yeah. Even
Mickey
though
Roman.
your boy Jezreel Corrales is in here.
You mean Cisco over there? Now, Mickey Roman, this guy's going to get tested next. He's probably going to end up in the ring against Miguel Burchell.
How do you say somebody gets tested with 60 wins?
Well, how many of those were just casual elite names that we know off the bat, right?
Yeah, he had some, but not many.
Canelo's 27 with 60 fights, right?
Yeah.
Like 50 fights, right? Mm-hmm. You know, those were dudes who probably shared shorts. Like, that's that level of opposition. Because, I mean, he was started at 14. That's what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? How would you like to be one of those guys talked into that? Hey, you want to make some money? Who am I fighting? The kid right here. The little redhead? The little white boy? Little white boy? No, yeah. Little white boy. That's who you fighting. For how much? I don't know. 100,000 pesos. That's what you get. He's 14. You can take him, right? Nah, bro. Nah.
Don't do that. That'll get your feelings hurt out here.
That'll get your feelings hurt real bad. Real bad. You don't want to be the first one. That's for sure. Now, speaking of Miguel Burchell, we're going to move on from this one. Nickname not Mickey. But this was a guy, had another one who had his first fight in front of his home crowd against a veteran, Jonathan Victor Barros. This is Jonathan Victor Barros moved up in weight to face Miguel Burchell. And I don't know if you guys can see the trend of what we're talking about right now, but the trend has kind of been some KOs right here.
Yeah.
So we'll go into this one. We're going to go right into this clip.
Let's look at it.
Let's look at this one here. I believe this was another one. It's the same thing.
So when I was watching this, yeah.
That's right. This one got stopped because he just kept getting knocked down, and the corner stopped
it was, so, here. Actually, let me go over this. I actually brought the page. I actually brought the page out because I watched this. So he had a couple of knockdowns. Round 2 and 3 were the only knockdowns that he had. Just from the very beginning, Miguel Burchell, he's established overwhelming dominance just from the jump. Jonathan Barros, he looked like he didn't belong there. 41 fights and 5 losses, 22 knockouts. Yeah. But like the corner came out. I mean, his corner came out and was just like, hey man, I'm done. It's like they're gonna protect you.
He came out with his towel in the pocket.
Yeah,
and then he was like waved it.
He's like, look, you want me to do this as a formality, or do you want me to get him out of here? You're done here, kid. Yeah, man, there was nothing to prove. It was.
Let him vent a little, and then just tell him, hey.
You knew it was going to happen.
We're done. You're lucky the ref didn't stop it already.
Prolonging the inevitable.
Yes.
You know it was going to happen. So it's either you get it done now. You already showed that you had at least a little bit of heart to stay in there and to keep getting up, but you're not.
You made it this. What round was that?
3rd round.
Nice. Hey, this is good for this 130-pound division. We got some names knocking bodies out. We usually don't. No, this is probably the division actually where you start seeing it rise more. The knockouts versus the other smaller divisions that separate them, like that makes Inoue such a fascination. Yeah. This 130-pound, because we got Tank Davis in there. Because when you go down to 126, you see a lot of boxer punches, but nobody with this high ratio of first round KOs.
Yeah, Miguel Burchell, 33-1 with 29 knockouts going into that fight. Who's his one loss? Luis Eduardo Flores back in 2014.
Still got them bragging rights at least.
15-1 walking into there. So yeah, he still has that. So
all right.
First round KO.
Wow. Man, if we were talking, see, this is one of the things where I like that we stay positive on things. If this wasn't recorded, we'd be looking it up right now.
Yeah.
But we're not going to be unprepared at the moment. We have an itinerary to follow, a schedule. Yeah. And Miguel Burchell, I like the streak though. What was that number of fights for him?
So it was 15.
Number 15, he's got 37 wins?
Nope. That wasn't. No, I was looking at the other guy. Hold on. Let me see. Let me check.
What's the streak? Not running down naked on the street, streaking, but what's his current streak?
And then the guy who he fought, just even looking up his here, I'm gonna get to that. I'm a little off track. These are some of the guys that he fought. Regis Prograis.
Okay, know him.
So we know him because he's the one who just
fights in a couple weeks or fights next weekend, I think.
Well, he's the one who just beat Julius Ndongo with a 2nd round knockout.
Yep.
Jamel Herring.
Yep.
So that was just 2 of the names that we had, and of course it was Miguel Burchell's 21st fight, his 22nd fight. He was 21-0 going into that.
Okay. Hey, it sucks. Happened to Abden Mars, and he came back just fine, just like Miguel Burchell. Came back just fine. Got a nice little streak going on. What's his current record right now?
Who's?
Miguel Burchell.
He's 34-1 with 30 knockouts.
34-1. So what's that? A 12 win fighting streak. Not bad. Not bad at all. That's why you bounce back. That's how you bounce back. And no matter what some say, this is the way that the promoters kind of handle them. But either way, your streak is yours. Good job. I like to see this 130-pound division get stacked. But let's get it come into a close. Let's see more unifications. That's what we're here for, is to unify. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about these UK fights since they've been popping up on ESPN Plus. We'll start off with that Anthony Yarde.
Okay, so one of my favorite people, period, is Bomani Jones from me. No. Bomani, hey man, come on. Hey, can I get some space over there, man? You pulling? Thank you, man. Bomani Jones, I love him from ESPN because he I forgot what it was, either basketball or it was either basketball or football, but one of the guys' names he was talking about was Dante.
Yeah,
and
I know Dante, man.
Dante was a white guy.
What?
It is, so yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't know many. I don't know any white Dantes. And so Bomani Jones always calls him White Dante.
Makes sense.
So this guy, I heard his name, but the way it's spelled, I'm just gonna call this cat Darius. So I'm gonna call him White Darius Sec.
White Darius. Ooh, that's a dope rap name.
White Darius Sec.
That's like a sex position right there. Ooh, clean up afterwards. Looking. That's gonna become a CrossFit thing right there. White Darius Sec. Ooh, even the British accent, they would call it sex. Anthony Yarde, I've been reading a lot of hype around this cat. Now, he looked like your typical U.S. police victim, I guess you would say. But, he got the braids.
Yeah.
But this is a guy who looked well-disciplined with his corner.
Solid. Good counter. He had a flash knockdown round one.
Nice.
He kind of had a Gervonta Davis build.
Yeah.
And kind of like a little bit more.
A little bit bigger, but yeah.
A little bit bigger. But so, they're fighting now a light heavyweight. So yeah, he's a lot bigger. But White Darius, he was outclassed, outboxed, outmatched. But he was tough though. Like, he tried, but TKO round 7.
And it was one of these on few occasions do you see a TKO stoppage by the ref when the fighter doesn't go down.
Yeah.
And then when you do see that, that's very bad body language that we're all seeing, because I had no problems with the stoppage.
Yeah.
It was going to get worse if we didn't stop it now. Your corner should be a little disappointed. You know what I'm saying? Maybe because I don't know about their situation. I won't say that. I'm gonna take that one back. I will take that back. But a good stoppage by the ref, save him from himself. But Anthony Yarde, this is a guy who I saw discipline in there, listening to his corner, did everything they were saying, step-by-step process. When they told him, I think it was the 5th or 6th round, let's just have a little fun, let's mix it up. That's what he did. He mixed it up. He brought the pain. He put damage on this boy. And in the 6th and 7th round, it was like, it's time to go in for the kill. He went in there for the kill. So that's good discipline, and I like that. Not every opposition will be as easy to you as my man White Darius over here. So hopefully this is a good building thing just for his cornering team. And we'll see what we got, man. The 175 division is stacked. Maybe we'll, instead of reading more about you and have to look it up later, we'll see more.
So yeah, Anthony Yarde right now he's 16-0 with 15 knockouts,
nice.
And actually he was just going over his record. It looks like,
but one misdemeanor, 2. I'm joking. Sorry.
Nah, it actually looks like, but from the record, I haven't watched all of it, but it looks like it actually might even be 16 knockouts. It looks like one was stopped early, like in the second round. So
stopped but didn't get the TKO.
No, I didn't get the TKO. So
Does that sentence sound correct to you?
It doesn't really, but
if they stop a fight from a cut, do you still get the TKO?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Good example. See, maybe it's the Mangria. Sorry, sometimes you get the fire burning in there, and that just happens. What are you gonna do?
Hey, fix it.
So we got to do
fix
logos.
Fix it.
SC101. Download the Square Circle app. We're actually here, brought to you by Connecting at Microsoft. But now we are so live at Hub City Studios. Welcome back, baby. And we're here, Anthony Yarde. Now this is the definition of a showcase fight. When we talk about, I've mentioned showcase fight a lot of times. I'm not talking about you and your girl arguing in the middle of the day and the holidays and everybody saw it. A showcase fight is, this is my man. We're going to display nothing but talent and skill and show the product what we got, because we're trying to lure in sponsors and maybe a bigger, better promoter that can get us bigger fights. And this is what they got. It was a perfect showcase fight. Props to Anthony Yarde. The braids looked good. and I like this guy. I want to see more of him because he's got a good style of boxing, and fan-friendly.
Yeah.
Not fan-friendly was Martin Murray versus Roberto Garcia. This was a big flooded... this was a barroom brawl without the drinks. I didn't get into the fight too much. We saw the highlights. You can just Google the highlights. Martin Murray's a guy who's kind of out the door when it comes to it. But hopefully we're going to give a lot more attention towards some of these, I want to say, mid-tier UK fighters. Since ESPN Plus has now been televising them. We know Eddie Hearn has got the DAZN channel or something. It's DAZN, DAZN. Should be a weed channel, by the way. But... no, that's like bad porn at motels, DAZN. But hopefully we'll be able to see it and give a little bit more attention to the UK because I like every fight I see from the UK. They always look like barroom brawls, and we got a nice, decent crowd out there. Shout out to all you guys out there in the UK. Maybe one day we can sip a pint and blow a fag outside. Talk about cigarettes. But Martin Murray, Roberto Garcia, we won't give them too much attention. Give them about 10 minutes more than they needed. I want to talk about this Josh Taylor though and Victor Postol fight. This is a fight that I don't have no highlights of, but...
We don't need highlights of this fight. Josh Taylor won this fight, unanimous decision over Victor Postol. Now, what's crazy about this to me, Victor Postol came in. We know him from Terrence Crawford.
Iceman.
We know from getting whooped by Terrence Crawford, but we also know him for putting a whooping on Lucas Matisse, which really hurt my heart. And then also this is the one that we claim Danny Garcia moved up to the welterweight division to avoid. Now... what this reminded me of, okay, first of all, Josh Taylor came out here fighting like he wasn't scared, and he wasn't at all. A lot of things that I took from this, he did a lot of moving back Victor Postol, and I know he's really a boxer.
He started off coming forward, though.
He started off, yeah. But this is for the WBC Eliminator for the 140 super lightweight title. Now, Josh Taylor 12-0 with 11 knockouts, 12 fights.
Victor Postol's record?
29-1.
Experience gap.
Yeah,
Big.
Huge experience gap. You know what this reminded me of? The Adrian Broner effect. He wasn't the same after Marcos Maidana. And the reason why I say that is because after.
So you would suggest that it's a very big possibility without that loss to Terrence Crawford, he would have beat Josh Taylor maybe.
I'm not. No,
is that his name, Josh Taylor, right?
That is his name. No, I'm not saying that's 100% true because the thing is, we did.
Piece of this man
I can see. Yeah, he's a shell. He was a shell of himself because right after the Terrence Crawford loss, you fought a guy who I said I couldn't even pronounce his name. A guy who was 14. He was 14-0, but you went down.
Please try to pronounce his name.
Jamshidabek Najimidov.
Man, I've never heard such jive. You know what I'm saying? I would think you were from North Carolina with that name right there. I'm like, what? Damn. Okay. Yeah.
My second car, I named it Naina Najad. from Office Space. He said, I don't understand why you can't say it. Naina Najad. I always that was the name of my second car, man.
Nice. And the car was?
It was a Chrysler Cirrus. Or something like that.
It's a ride.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, no. So I'm not saying he could have beat him, but I'm just saying, like, in this one, Postol was down in round 5. So it's just like right after that, you're fighting. I mean, you go from a Lucas Matisse to a Terrence Crawford, and you dominate Matisse. You do good against Terrence Crawford. Maybe
you hold your own against Terrence Crawford. Yeah. Better than some of the fighters he's faced since.
Exactly. So, but the thing is, when you're fighting guys with 14-0, 12-0, like I expect you to show that dominance and show that ring generalship like you should.
Now, I don't think he was getting a fair shot with the scorecards. I thought it was a lot closer. I don't disagree with the unanimous decision.
Yeah.
But I think
it was a lot closer than what it should be.
I had it like maybe 2 rounds, Josh Taylor. So I started scoring it, and I had it even after the 4th round.
Yeah.
But then after that, I really just started getting into the fight and just kind of stopped scoring it because it was becoming a good, exciting fight.
Was good exchanges.
And this is one of those fights where the knockdown basically sealed the deal for Josh Taylor.
In round 8. In round 10.
Yeah. And in a fair, well, I'm going to say that. In a situation where, I guess if Postol could have been a little more convincing to everybody else, we would expect it a closer fight without that knockdown, maybe a draw, and then this would become controversial. But with that knockdown, it solidified the win for me. But it was still a good fight. I like Victor Postol, but now has he become a gatekeeper? Because we got Josh Taylor. I don't even want to call this guy on the rise because now he's got a title eliminator with 12 fights, which is becoming common. but you beat a good solid vet like Victor Postal.
Gatekeeper at 34. I mean, we've seen it before.
Yeah, I've seen
I'm
many
like,
times actually. Yeah.
Like he was a title holder, and I think that his title holder days are behind him.
Yeah.
So
No, I can see that. I can see that Gatekeeper. Nothing wrong with that. Still good money. And there's a lot of people that's got worse records behind you, and there's some ahead of you. People won't even notice. You'll get paid. What are we gonna do? It's the Iceman. He's the Iceman. Keep them checks cold. That's what we want to do. Josh Taylor. Where does he go at 135? Who's next there? Because this is the WB. Who's the WBC champ? This is the eliminator for it, right?
Mike Garcia.
Ooh, I don't know if you want that one. Who else you got? Who else you got?
So Lomachenko, Robert
Okay.
Easter Jr.
Who else you got?
Ray Beltran,
Who else you got?
Jorge Linares,
Okay, there we go. Here we go.
Anthony Crolla,
That's his- that's-
Javier Fortuna,
Okay.
Luke Campbell,
I'll tell you his next fight. Is gonna
Paulus
be.
Moses,
Ooh, okay. So the next person that we're gonna see
Mario Barrios.
should have been a rapper or a video game. Josh Taylor will probably fight. I want to say Anthony Crolla, but the $1 Million Man. But that's a step
Dejan
back.
Zlaticanin,
Ooh, that would be a good one. I don't know if he's ready for that one.
Rancis Bartholomew. I mean, he
That
can
would be a
go
good
a lot.
matchup.
He can go a lot of ways. Richard Comey, we forgot about him. We haven't heard from him in a while.
So if you're Josh Taylor's camp and you're like, okay, yeah, we got that WBC eliminator. Who's got that belt? Oh, the winner of which fight? Garcia Easter Jr. Look at the record. If you were his handlers, would you pursue that fight?
No.
Or would you just try to talk down your fighter like, hey, well, we got this. That means we can get it again, right?
It's one of those things. It's like what of this generation? A lot of them are fans of the prisoners of the moment. So you look at Miguel Berchelt, who got that loss early in his career and then became a champion. Like,
You gotta look at Mickey
don't-
Roman,
hey,
who just
oh,
grinded,
you're
kept
right.
grinding.
Don't take that chance if you don't have to.
Now,
The belts will be there if you don't want to. I'm not saying duck anybody, but at the same time,
but
play
if
it
you're
smart.
you're not ducking anybody if you're next in line. If you're his handler and trainer, do you just go straight up and be like, look, son, we made it here, we get it back, but let's be realistic about this. You're not ready for a Mikey Garcia. You don't even have a puncher's chance against Mikey Garcia. You just tell him, well, okay.
Tell him.
Yeah.
Tell him.
Just
Like, honestly.
rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, you got to.
Let him know.
It's just like Antoine.
I can train you and we can have the game plan, but
It's just like Heyday said when he was like talking about how you take it, like the audio lesson. He's like, I say, yeah, I know it sucks. You got to be able to take constructive criticism. Like if people are being real with you, then
Yeah.
you know exactly where you stand with them, man. You don't want anybody in your corner that you can't really trust.
Exactly. The motto goes for your friends, business partner, and women. That's the motto. Write it down. Make sure you download that Squared Circle app. It's available on Google Play and iOS. We're coming at you live here at Hub City. I am Heyday Studios. Josh Taylor, the current #1 ranking WBC contender. Slide it back a little bit. Let's set a goal to unify the #1 rankings. Maybe get all the other 3 spots before we test some of that opposition. Now let's go into the most viewed. You got anything else to say about the Iceman and Josh Taylor?
Nope, ain't got nothing to say about that. Really, that's over.
So maybe part of the Me Too movement is Clarissa Shields versus Hannah Jabrios.
Are we gonna start with there, or are we gonna start with the Hammer and Tori Nelson first?
We can start with the Hammer Torn. Actually, I'm sorry, I didn't.
You didn't even have that.
Didn't even have it.
Look at you being sexist. And since you
I've
started being
admitted this openly.
Since
many
you started
times.
being sexist, I will continue on with that.
Sexist is sexy, whatever. I get it.
Well, no, actually, I'm going to be sexist on the next segment because Hannah Gabriels is fine.
Hmm.
She's. It actually had one of my homegirls call me, and she was like, "Oh, we'll talk about
her in a second,
that
trust me,
later.
and we'll have more conversations about her off the air. But go ahead, Christina Hammer.
Christina Hammer, the Anna Kournikova of ladies boxing.
What's Anna Kournikova?
So Anna Kournikova is
a place, right?
No.
Oh.
Anna Kournikova is one of the most world famous tennis players. Now, she's more known for modeling because Lady Hammer, she's actually made more money in lingerie modeling out there in Russia than she has from boxing.
That's
So
where I recognize her from.
that's-
I knew I'd seen her before. I knew it. I was like, wait, not the Hammer? How come I know this chick?
Yeah. So no, it's that's exactly what I saw. So 22 no 10 knockouts. She's the
How many
current.
fights do you think she had off the books in lingerie? Don't answer that question.
You might want to make that a sport because I guarantee you women's boxing will shoot skyrocket. I know I would. I watched the lingerie football league.
They'd have to change it from 2-minute to 1-minute rounds, so that's the only problem. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
All right, so Well, I just want to kind of highlight all these things because like it was just great. She's a pure boxer, so she stayed on the outside. Tori Nelson, the person that she fought, is from Ashburn, Virginia.
I know.
Which is one of our
Maybe she listens.
Maybe what?
Shout out to Tori Nelson.
Shout out to Tori Nation. Shout out to Ashburn, VA.
Yeah.
I was really excited to hear about that, though. So Tori Nelson was Clarissa Shields. I don't want to call her leftovers, but that is who she got the title from.
This is just part of boxing, man. We see it all the time. He
time.
beat him. How can you do it better, even though this person's already been damaged by him?
So she is the current WBC and WBO title holder.
41 years old was Tori Nelson?
No, I'm talking about Christina Hammer was 17-1 with 2 knockouts. That's what Tori Nelson was.
It was a good showcase for Christina Hammer, not the results she probably wanted. Shout out to Tori Nelson for just to keep grinding.
Yeah.
For her fight career, she had 6 fights where she didn't even get paid. And when
That shows the love of the sport too.
Not only that, but let's talk about that real quick, because when I say didn't get paid, it doesn't mean you didn't make no money. That means what you put in, you kind of zeroed out, because you got to take care of your training, you got to take care of the camp, you got to take care of all the costs involved.
Sparring partners, all that.
And most likely she got paid the exact amount that covered all of it, and maybe some free drinks on the side because she's still a chick. That's the default rule, period. So shout out to her. She is still a waitress currently. Nothing wrong with that. You got to grind to get cash home every day. Mm-hmm. So if you see her, give her a shout out. It's okay to make that 20% on the tip. You know what I'm saying? Because she's still one of the baddest women at one time, WBC champ in her division. Christina Hammer got a name not given to her, birthright. So I don't know about this one. I mean, I do like the lingerie aspect of it. And there is some beatdowns that might have happened because of it, you know what I'm saying? But not the ones we were used to in boxing. So
you don't know who Anna Kournikova is?
The name sounds so familiar. If you showed it to me, I definitely would recognize her. That's for sure. Because it just there is a beach resort or place that sounds similar to it. Now, this is going to be a unification bout that is basically for the setup with Clarissa Shields. I don't know if she did anything impressive enough to show me that she could beat Clarissa Shields. But I want to see them face-to-face because I need to see that size difference, because the Hammer looks bigger on TV than Clarissa Shields.
She does. Sure. She does. So, and then getting into Clarissa Shields. So, Clarissa Shields, she is the current WBA IBF champ, 5-0 in the middleweight division. She fought a sexy Hannah Gabriels. One of my homegirls called me, and she was like, and we were talking about this, and she was like, when Clarissa Shields was fighting her, she was like, I just don't want her to hurt her face. And this is coming from another female, and I was just like, hey, yo, I feel you. So actually, this is one of the things I want to say before we get into it. So this is from Clarissa Shields.
Moving on from Christina Hammer and Tori Nelson.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, well, I'm gonna still cover that, cover a little bit of that. So Clarissa Shields is from her Instagram page. What a warrior you are. I am so sorry after the fight I wasn't able to let you know face to face, but by far my toughest fight. Women's boxing has taken a huge jump forward because of you, and I didn't want to let this week fly by without telling you. Thank you for putting me on my ass and making me dig deep for the win. I'm a fan of yours and a friend from afar. Thank you, and to you and your team. Truly happy for you. You are a strong competitor.
Clarissa Shields lesbian, right?
I don't know.
That sound like a fire extinguisher. You know what I'm saying? That's like, you know what I'm saying? Fire extinguishers, break glass in case of emergency. right over here. No. Now, go ahead.
So when we were talking about the Lady Hammer, I'm actually looking forward to this as being one
of the name of your penis.
The Lady Hammer.
Thor. Black Thor.
Black Hammer. So I'm actually looking forward toward this unification bout. Honestly, top 3-4 fights that I want to see this year. I'm really intrigued. So when you talk about the size difference, now what this was the difference was you got Hannah Gabriels who put Clarissa Shields down in the second round. I think that's what it was. She just first going out, nice uppercut. But
let's look at the uppercut real quick. We're gonna run that because that's the only highlight we got from the fight. So let's look at this uppercut.
Okay.
Real quick here.
Bam.
Like boom.
Okay.
So got her off balance. To follow up, put her on the ground.
Yeah,
and that was just a real quick one because that was the biggest highlight of there because Clarissa Shields never been down in her career.
Yeah, never been down in her career, but they fought from the inside, and Christina Hammer doesn't fight like that. So Christina Hammer said, "I'm gonna sit there and box her from the outside." It's easy to say until it is. So I'm really intrigued by this matchup because I can see it going either way. I am going to put my hat in for Clarissa Shields. Now
Hannah Gabriels, we're going to give a shout out to her because first woman ever televised on HBO. Her last fight was on HBO not too long ago this year. First woman ever televised on HBO.
I don't think we covered that, but I remember hearing about
We
that.
we talked about it. We didn't really get too much into it now.
It's because you're sexist.
Well, so am I. It's okay. But Hannah Gabriels versus Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Shields moved down in weight.
Yeah.
So do you think size matters with these women?
I can't say. I don't. To be honest with you, I don't watch enough women's boxing to let you know about that.
That's a legit answer because this was me asking you this question because I'm not sure because we know there's a difference in man's strength and woman's strength.
Yeah.
And one of those differences comes in size. Pause. And that, and that is something that's clear when you watch it with men. So with the women, we already know them. We're already wired to watch them lose weight because we were apparently Hannah Gabriels is thick, by the way. So we're so used to this now. Did you know Hannah Gabriels is married to Brian Vasquez?
Yeah, who's
never won a world championship.
It never won a world
Do you
championship,
think
but also
that gets brought up, right?
But also at the same time is I think what is that 20 pounds less than her?
Okay, I got a hypothetical for you. In this scenario, in
Yes.
this world.
Wait, what happened? Can you repeat the question?
No, hold on. Listen, you get to pick one. Right now, the setting is a bar. Right, you might be a little tossed up. You get to pick one of these women to save you in a bar fight settings. It'd be Clarissa Shields, Hannah Gabriels, or Layla Ali. One of these three. You get to pick one. No, I will go with Heather Hardy because she's still a current active fighter. One of these fighters get to save you, and it's only because you might be a little drunk, and you just happen to be dating a not too bad chick who can brawl. Like Clarissa Shields ain't ugly. I don't think she likes me and you, but she might be a fan of the show. That's it. Who would you pick?
Flint, Michigan.
Grimy, right? Yeah,
Just
me too.
if you're gonna do it, man, I like Clarissa Shields likes to fight. And just did you hear her how when Lady Hammer got into the ring, how she's like, I'll whoop your ass right now. I'll whoop your ass right now.
Flint,
I'm
Michigan
like,
talking right
there. She wants to fight. So if I'm in the bar with Clarissa, she might start the fight. So I'm taking her. I'm going with Flint.
Yeah, I'm with it. That's the correct answer, by the way, because aesthetically, Hannah Gabriels and Heather Hardy, don't hit them. Hit me instead. Don't hit them. Take it out on me.
What are you trying to say?
Huh?
What are you trying to say?
They got prettier faces than Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Shields will stab me, let alone whoever tried to fight me. You know what I'm saying? She had Anthony Durrell with them and Andre Durrell, and they just wore their Friday outfits. They didn't even dress up for it, you know what I'm saying? Because it was in Detroit. It was what a fight was or whatever. So just showed up.
It's home for them.
That's what it is. But Clarissa Shields made a statement. I don't know when the last time a unification happened to boxing for women's like this. This is something we will have an answer for you maybe next week. We'll look it up because this could be one of the first times, or at least a moment in history for sure, because of how young she is.
Yeah.
So this is a fighter where dudes are lucky she's a woman because you take that skill set, put it in a man that size, that division.
With that heart.
We got big problems for everybody.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Especially for someone who loves to fight. And I don't mean emotional arguments. Now we got a lot of fight announcements moving on from this one. So one we have Kubrat Pulev versus Jarrell Miller announced, Big Baby Miller. That's a big step up for Big Baby Miller.
Do you know when that fight is scheduled?
I didn't see when the date was. I just saw that it was announced. I'm not sure if they even have a date and a location yet. Okay. Then we got Jaime Munguia versus Liam Beefy Smith.
I'm actually intrigued by that too because the way Jaime Munguia put away Saddam Ali.
Saddam Ali's gonna be mad because the matchup with him and Liam Smith, he had a big chance of winning that fight and have a successful defense. Jaime Munguia is the guy that got blown off, came out of nowhere because he got blown off and not the proper shot. Because just think if we would have saw him against Triple G instead of Saddam Ali, this is a different conversation, different story. But now he gets Saddam Ali's. The guy he was supposed to fight. So I kind of feel sorry for Liam Beefy Smith because I feel like Munguia, he looks bigger, stronger, and I feel like he's just going to plow right through this kid.
I would say that. I would say that now, but I'm not sure what kind of Jamie Munguia really is, though, just for Saddam Ali.
That was you.
Yeah.
That was you. You did Jamie not.
Yeah, Jaime Munguia. Yeah, so I don't know because the way he put him around, I can't really tell too much about Munguia except he's strong, he's powerful, but we'll see what happens when he gets in there who's a little bit tougher, though.
Now, we mentioned...
Beefy Smith may be a tough chew.
Hey, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Now, we mentioned before Jacobs versus Darenchenko, and we thought of maybe this the happy medium about Triple G kind of getting stripped, because this is a great matchup, and the fight is made. I don't think there's a date or location yet, but the fight is happening. The purse bid's over. This is going down. Daniel Jacobs needs a win like this to solidify and intimidate, to get everybody thinking. I'm not going to say intimidate, to make everybody think in the back of the head how good his level is. If he gets a good, solid win.
I've said this about Daniel Jacobs a lot of times. He plays to the level of his opposition, so I expect a war in this.
And this is a great matchup, so I'm glad that we get to see this, and I can't wait till they figure out when it's happening. Now, next is a journeyman, 2 journeymen. We've had who's had fun careers that we watched. They got a fight coming up next weekend or a couple weeks, next month. Andre Berto versus Devin Alexander.
This is
2 former champions.
Very intriguing.
The Devin Alexander versus Victor Ortiz was not a bad fight to watch. Thought he deserved to win.
Out of everything that we picked, this is going to be the closest 50-50 fight. Pick 'em. This is like it depends on who feels better that day and who had better training camp.
And it's one of these things where the only thing you could say is that it's a fight made too late or they're too old, but it's not. This is the right time, right style matchup. They both have that same comeback goals. They've tasted success. They've
had success. They've been headliners
and held on to it. They didn't just. They're not just one and done like a one night stand from my man Shoota back in 2007.
So off the top of your head, can you name Andre Berto's last fight?
Oh, Sean Porter.
It was Sean Porter.
Sean Porter beat him down. Yep.
So Sean Porter beat him down, and Devin Alexander's last fight was Victor Ortiz.
And then before that, Berto was Ortiz.
Yeah, and so but Sean Porter, I mean not Sean Porter, but Devin Alexander should have won that Victor Ortiz fight, and that was called a majority draw, or it was a draw or something like that. But either way, home cooking. But so both of these guys are coming off a loss, and I always talk about how you got to bounce back from a loss. How is it going to be? So
I
2 losses.
I like Berto because his management. And he's taken the right fights. You know what I'm saying? He took in the right fights at the right time. Didn't get all those W's, but he was in a situation and position where, except for maybe the Sean Porter one and the Floyd, of course, where he was in the position where he could be, it's 50-50 or he's the favorite. You know what I'm saying? When he fought Guerrero, I didn't think Guerrero was going to do what he did to him.
Yeah.
Now, that first
Victor had him wear the top guns after that.
He tore his shoulder, but whatever. And, his fight was Victor Ortiz, the first one. That was a great fight to watch.
Great fight, yeah.
He's always, even with the Floyd one, I know we know Floyd didn't take it too seriously, but he didn't look like he didn't belong for sure. You could tell that level of opposition was there. So
most people look like they don't belong when Floyd's around. So it was after watching that, like, to be completely honest, so like Andre Berto.
The jeweler who sold him his last watch felt like he didn't belong handing him the watch.
Go ahead. We'll
That's not an Amazon order, right? 18 million?
Nah.
Anyways, Andre Berto, who do you want to win in this fight? Not who are you picking. Who would you like to see win? You're gonna have to choose sides on this one.
Do you honestly want me to choose sides? Because I could honestly flip a coin. I have respect for both of these men. How
would you like to be a chick dating him? Which one?
If I'm picking who would win, Devin Alexander.
It's personal favorite.
Not because I like both of these guys, and I really don't have a dog in this, but I would pick Devin Alexander just because the simple fact that the way Andre Berto, the way he lost is he got beat down, he got beat up. Devin Alexander deserves a win after his last fight.
Devin Alexander was beat up by life. He had an addiction, opioids crisis.
Yeah, real talk, though.
You be more sensitive to that. We're going to talk more about this the week before the fight. Now we're going to move on. We talked about the $18 million watch. Okay. Do you take a bullet to try to rob this man, right?
Okay. So when I pull this up, usually I don't like into the gossip thing or the TMZ stuff that are reported, but it was reported that Floyd Mayweather Jr. and you can look it up. I posted it. It's actually on our page, facebook.com/squarecircle101. $18 million watch, and I'm thinking about it like.
Now he talks about where he comes from, right?
As a bodyguard, do you steal this watch or one of these? Because even if you sell it for half, even if you sell it for a quarter, even if you sell it for 10%, that's still pretty good money retiring.
I just had a vision. We need to get famous so we could do a reboot of The Bodyguard with you, like Bodyguard and someone like Katy Perry. I guess who would be the white version of my main girl Whitney Houston? Who would be the white version of that? Lady Gaga probably, because she's probably got the most soul that's just under the.
So you know what you just reminded me of. So I was talking to somebody about this the other day. Now
That was a good movie too, by the way.
50 Cent,
50?
not a fan of him. I'm a fan of him I'm a fan of him on Instagram because he's hilarious and he's.
I got nothing bad about 50. I bought
he's
the
a goon.
albums.
No,
But like the music.
But the music before Get Rich or Die Trying came out, like when How to Rob, like how. So when you say something like that, like a bodyguard, and it had me think of that one line. I had dreams of effing an R&B chick and wake up in the morning and bounce with all her shit. like that's what I want to do. So like I'm bodyguard, so I'm like, hey yo, Lady Gaga, you got this. You got this trophy in here. I'm like, how much is that going on eBay, man? You might get got from me, man. I still got those tendencies.
You think a rich white woman successful for music signed to Convict Records has a trophy for what?
Trophy? What do you call those awards or what? Tony? I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
I don't watch that
Tony
crap,
Award.
man.
Okay, gotcha,
man.
gotcha.
I don't know what those things do.
Well, she's so rich, she might actually have Tony Bennett in the closet, gold. And if you don't know who Tony Bennett is, he's not a basketball coach. Where your head would go. But this $18 million watch, this has just got, there's FU money, there's F me money. This is F all of you money right here. And me. That's $18 million on a watch. Look. Do you wear it?
How do you stomach buying something like that? Like, I don't have that kind of money, but like, I mean, like 18 million, like,
honestly, bro,
look,
like,
look.
I probably would have, well, me, I would have at least, I would have gambled it or donated it to charity or just
listen. No, Floyd.
I would have fun with it.
Okay, no. Check this out, Floyd. You earned every dollar that you made.
Deserved.
So nobody can tell you to do what you want to do.
Not saying bad purchase option. I wouldn't do it myself.
Is Flint water still broke, or is Michigan's water still?
They're living off of 211 and Gatorade water.
Hey, man, that's kind of cold blooded, man.
There's no fishing expos going on there, bro.
Listen, I'm just saying, like $18 million, man, that could fix a lot of people's problems. Like
211 and Kool-Aid. You know I love you, right? Now, I agree with you 100% because we saw Flint, Michigan get together when they support Clarissa Shields. And for someone like Floyd who wants to brag about his past and how he came up with his mom doing drugs, and he talks about North Dakota, even though his entire adult career from amateurs, from Olympics was spent in Las Vegas. Now, your mom was on drugs because your dad was a former world champion and she could afford it. There's a difference. You're kind of in the same category of the opioid crisis at that point. But still, $18 million on a watch. You got a lot of brother pride in there. You could help a brother out. That's all I'm saying.
Do what you want to do with your money, man, but I'm just saying.
You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, a guy like this can't buy a watch to keep it on wraps, right?
Just to check the time on your cell phone.
The exact opposite of this is going to be the host of the new Contender Series.
Andre Ward.
SOG. We're not pushing religion on you, but he may be the son of God, at least the universe gods of boxing, that's for sure. Now, the Contender premieres, they got a lot of names in there. The only one that I knew right off the bat was Shane Mosley Jr. Sorry, bro, I didn't know your name. I actually know your pops' name. And I know you got the junior on there, so you kind of got a little fast one on me there, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not sure if we deserve to know you based on your first televised performance.
Side story on something like that. LeBron James Jr., I guess they asked him why he doesn't wear number 23, and he was like, yeah, I don't want to be associated with my dad. I want to make it on my own name. Your name is LeBron James Jr., bruh. Like it's the same.
Go by that middle name and stuff.
So it's the same thing about this. I'm like Shane Mosley Jr. Hey, honestly, I can't wait. I think they said this premieres in August. Shane Mosley Jr., man. Hey, you're gonna have a target on your back already, bro.
Already, because your dad is a Hall of Famer, and has been connected to bad scandals, great fights, bad divorces. Luckily, your name has only been brought up in boxing, which is probably the worst sport to choose. Man, it's LeBron James Jr. Don't play basketball. Don't even pick a basketball up.
Nah, bro, he's
Michael
pretty
Jordan,
good. No, he's
nasty.
No, he's really good.
If he looks identical to LeBron, they're not real people. They're clones.
He just attempted an in-game dunk, which I saw last week.
Attempted?
At 13 years old, in the middle of a game. Yeah. And it was barely missed too, man. It was.
Now, LeBron James Jr., I'm going to throw this out there. This is an idea that where you could make a lot of money on. You get a lot of white girls. and guaranteed to dominate the sport and be the number one star and the first one to get sponsors from it.
You're just full of ignorance this episode.
I'm very open racist, but my penis is colorblind, just so we know. And what if you thought about volleyball? I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? You'd be the first brother in volleyball. You get a lot of money. We know they can jump. We need dudes that
Name
jump.
me 2 volleyball millionaires. Yeah.
Volleyball's got to be a real name, right? It's not named.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
okay, you got me on
probably
that one.
look, allowance right now. His allowance right now. He's making more money than any volleyball player
Yeah.
in the world.
Yeah. Why do sports? At least O'Shea Jackson Jr. went to Juilliard and chose acting. Oh, Den of Thieves, dope movie, by the way.
It was.
Now, let's get back to the contender. Not the possible contender of LeBron James Jr., who might end up OD'd most likely based off of Celebrity Kids. So let's talk about the contender. This premieres sometime in August. This is good to see. Good to see reality at least come back to boxing, even though I'm not a big fan of reality TV. But I'm a big fan of Andre Ward, and I'm glad to see this man make money. Now, they was talking about him sparring with all these fighters during the shootings and stuff, and he's like, do you get the itch to come back? He's like, I always get the itch. That's why I have to spar and box. But do I want to come back? Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
He's not sparring. He's schooling, man.
Bro.
I guarantee you, when they get in
Heard
there.
he's in Creed 2.
Huh?
Heard he's in Creed 2.
I saw him in Creed 2. And actually, there's this cat that I've been following for a couple years now on Instagram. His name is Little Future. I forgot what his name. Boxing prodigy. I guarantee you're going to hear about him in the next few years, too. Like, literally, he's
CNN headline or ESPN?
ESPN.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. So the contender can't wait till August. That's a good month because that's when yours truly was, created on this earth where Pops.
Your Pops?
Either forgot to pull or planned one. I'm not sure yet.
Nah, I forgot to pull.
Most likely. Now, there's a lot of gossip going around here in boxing. How much? We got some time left because the fights we got
a little
time. So this is a time where I can't wait till everybody is tired of hearing us because I would pull tape. Till I want to say, I don't know the number, but this is an episode we recorded in January when I made the declaration that we're not going to get the fights we want.
You also said it about Canelo and Triple G.
I said the only fight we're going to get was that fight because it was already scheduled and planned for Cinco de Mayo, right?
No, you said we weren't going to get that one this year either.
And that was almost right. Right, I'll take it.
Almost.
Hey,
horseshoes and hand grenades.
I'd rather be lucky than good any day of the week. Now, the thing about this one, though, is a little bit different because I'm pretty specific. Like, Lomachenko, Jorge Linares, I picked the 10th round. That one is, I'd rather be lucky than good. This one was, I'm very familiar with the business of boxing. I'm very familiar with the sport of boxing, being a martial artist even, but I'm from Vegas, so I know how the money flows. And I said that we're not going to get this fight, and I even specifically spoke about the biggest ring that may mess it up is going to be that WBA mandatory. Alexander Povetkin versus Anthony Joshua. They were supposed to fight in 2017, but Povetkin failed a PD test or whatever. Fight got postponed, canceled. He ended up fighting. That's when he fought Carlos Takam. And we know very rare the results of that one. Now, this is the writing on the wall that I've seen since January. Now, we heard about Wilder and Anthony Joshua, the fight, one of possibly the last pay-per-view fights our generation will ever see, and maybe even the sport of boxing will ever see, at a set price and not a monthly subscription. How do you feel about the situation? Everybody who's listening right now knows what's up with this. How do you feel about it?
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question, and I just want you to answer it and then shut up right after that.
No promises?
Who did you pick once the fight's made? If the fight's made, Deontay Wilder or Anthony Joshua?
I can't vote against Anthony Joshua.
Okay, anyway.
I mean, I can't go against Deontay Wilder.
Okay. I would pick Anthony Joshua. Now, saying that, this is 100,000% Anthony Joshua's fault. The reason why I'm picking Anthony Joshua to be the fall guy for this is because he has more handlers than Deontay Wilder. Being in sales and retail a very long time, I found myself a really good people reader. I have not interviewed Anthony Joshua. I have not interviewed Deontay Wilder.
Nope.
But from the way that they speak and the way that they handle and they carry themselves and what they talk about, I can see Deontay Wilder as being the man. Hey, I want to get this done, man. The money's one thing. The money's the bonus. I get to beat your ass, and then I get paid to do that. I can see that more. Anthony Joshua has more to lose than Deontay Wilder does.
Yes. Now we've seen some of the things that on Instagram you sent me a lot, and this maybe comes down to the accent from either the Southern Alabama or maybe the British accent. 50 and 15 is a big difference in millions.
Yeah.
With him taking 15 million, it's to solidify and secure it, and that's the upfront cost. That's not counting pay-per-view buys, promoters, all the other stuff, right? So Deontay Wilder, I can't feel sorry on that point. And he's been talking like this is a 50 Cent song, like I smell. Is that you, Jay?
No, he really is.
I
And
smell.
the thing is, to go about somebody like that and you saying, "Ayo, I smelt it on you." Ayo, you don't just say that. There's some circumstances where there's people just talking. Your boy Tyson Fury talks like that. Your boy Billy Joe Saunders talks like that. Anthony Joshua, you haven't heard him talk like this.
Yeah.
Even Bermain Severn, you didn't even hear him talk about like that, like this. Like, he wants to make this fight. He's like, look, there's nobody in this sport but us two at the very top, at the pinnacle. You need to make this fight done. And I'm putting this on Joshua and his handlers because the thing is, just like I said, Joshua doesn't need this as much as Deontay Wilder does. Joshua's making really good money.
Now, because you've been privileged to know someone like myself here, were you surprised?
You're welcome.
I am. I'm very welcome.
You're welcome
appreciate it.
because I'm
it's
privileged.
It's very good
to
to
know you.
walk into rooms and just say whatever the F I want
Yeah.
to anybody.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It does feel good.
Doesn't
and
it?
I take advantage of it. Last time when we watched Cotto and Canelo at that bar, I stepped on like 5-7 brothers different Jordans. It was just like, my bad.
They're all light skinned because if they weren't, you wouldn't have been. We wouldn't have this
I
show.
don't care. One of the things that's not racist at all is the math when you do the size up. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? You're like, okay, he's 5'9".
I'm 5'9.5".
At the time, 160, 155 pounds. Him, he's 6'3", 6'2". What are you? How tall are you?
I'm about 6'1".
6'1"? That's height, right? Okay, 6'1". You know what I'm saying? And you're not quiet, I definitely say,
Yeah.
and you see the size up. Okay, he's definitely with him. I'm pretty sure he's cool with him. He said something he probably wouldn't say around other people. He stepped on all these people's shoes, is still not flinching in confidence. You're going to make that decision properly. This is one of those things where I wasn't wrong. You weren't surprised when you heard all this, and you know what I've been preaching for how long, right? When I preach it, do you ever blow me off on this matter, this subject like this? When I say this is not going to happen, this is why. Do you ever blow me off, or do you take me serious with that one?
I'm about 50-50 depending on. I'm about 50-50 because
Are you shocked when I'm right?
No.
Okay.
No, because honestly, the thing is, I've said this a lot before, on and off the air. This is you're an idiot savant. You say a lot of stupid stuff, but honestly, you come through a lot of the times. Like I appreciate your boxing knowledge, exactly what you have, and especially when I walk in here and I got my notes and I got, because like the thing is, I need that stuff to remember. And the fact that you are able to bring this stuff up off the drop of a dime and the whim, without really not just researching it, with just knowing. And just your boxing IQ is great. So like, if you predict it, I'm like, hey, I'm not putting it past you.
Yeah. So and this is
That's the only compliment you're getting for the rest of this year and the rest of next year.
I'll take it right here. Now, I'm not the only person on this planet that can see this stuff. Anthony Joshua is a fighter who has had a lot of cameras in his face, a lot of attention around him, and I guarantee this man has heard in the business of the boxing. He had to learn about this at an earlier age than any of us. Any of us at all. So I see this as a calculated move. No surprise that this went down. I'm pretty sure Anthony Joshua saw the WBA decision, or if not, he saw as much as I did. Like, this is probably going to happen, especially because you can kind of postpone it because your WBA is getting paid with it no matter who he fights, but you're going to make more if there's a little anticipation buildup, especially if it's the right one. So there's no shocker to me. And realistically, you don't want to compete with Canelo or Triple G. You want your own thing. You want your own legacy. You want your own spotlight. You want to make sure there's no promotions crossing at all. So, but we're going to see this fight. It'll happen in the beginning of 2019 unless somebody fails a PED. Deontay Wilder needs to keep talking a little stuff. Keep it a little professional. Let's not go overboard because this is a man that can knock you out with one punch. He can do it. It's not that he can do it. So let's be professional. You'll get more money out of it later, and we're gonna get it. Let's hold on. Slow down, my brother. Slow down. I'm still voting for Wilder regardless. Even if I don't think he has a shot, that's the man I'm rooting for. It'll happen 2019. So everybody stay calm, and it's okay for Sonny to be right. And it's going to happen more often. So now that we're prepared and can accept it, let's go ahead and talk about the one fight or two fights this weekend they got going on.
Let's go.
Let's go. Now, my man, Mick Conlon, hopefully he doesn't live in the U.S. long enough to know that that's how most Italians insult Irishmen, by calling them Micks.
Yeah.
So to make that his nickname, it wasn't me. It wasn't me this time. It wasn't me. But this is another brother like my man Shakur, fighting 5 times in a year, getting a lot of fights. He only scheduled for 4-round bouts, so not taking a lot of punishment, getting that working, and it's good to see. And I'm so blessed to be able to follow the career of these young fighters.
So I always tell people I'm a little bit racist. Mick Conlon, I want you to do well and I want you to succeed. So I will say that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Wait, what does that have to do with the racist?
Because just in case anybody thinks I want to just go for the black guy and talk about Shakur Stevenson, I want Mick Conlon. I want Mick Conlon to be great too.
They say
also.
the Irish is the black of Europe.
Hey, fix it.
Fix it. Live at Hub City, I Am Heyday Studios. Now we talking about my man
Are you guys trying to
Gilberto,
sabotage? Go ahead.
Gilberto Ramirez, Zurdo versus Romer Angulo. So Romer Angulo is a man that we might be able to say has an inflated record. We got time to look this up. Now we do know Gilberto Ramirez. I believe he's a top. I want to say he's a top ranked fighter, or possibly PBC. 168 pounds, and we do know that my man Caleb Sweethand Plants is coming for all these 168 pound cats, and he's fighting a Romer Angulo who's got a
he can
decent
come
record.
from, and I like Sweet Hands, but Zurdo's real.
Yeah,
so you need to watch it.
now.
So yeah, Gilberto Zurdo.
Good roll.
You like that?
What's his record? 27 or 37?
37-0 with 25 knockouts, man.
Okay.
Hey, Zurdo's that dude, man.
Yeah, he's legit. Then the guy he's facing, what's his record?
23-0.
With
Somebody's O got to go.
to
20
go.
knockouts, both high knockout percentages. So
You'll never hear that in porno. Somebody's O's got to go, because dudes have always finished. Always. Now, Romer Angulo from Colombia. Is that correct?
yes,
Okay. I went through his record because I wanted to know, is this an inflated record? And when we say inflated record, is just because we do think we're a little bit better in the U.S. with boxing, because our records seem to matter a little bit more than yours.
a little bit. Look, we got Colombia. We got I want to say Puerto Rico. We got Mexico, USA. So he's a little bit looks like.
How many USA fighters has this dude?
I'm not going through it.
Okay.
I'm not going to sit here
Gotcha.
counting them, but
That's
at
all
the same
good.
time- but
Gilberto
yeah.
Ramirez versus this guy. This is another showcase fight to me. This
Yeah.
is a showcase fight. What was? Can you see where he's ranked? Romer Angulo. Is he ranked? He's got to be ranked being undefeated. 168 pounds, super middleweight.
Yeah, I'm getting that.
We know how stacked the division is. We know who the show's fan favorite is. My man, Sweethand Plants.
So as of right now, I'm going through fightnews.com. That's where I get all the stuff.
The rankings.
Romar, for the rankings, we have in WBO, we have him ranked 10th.
Okay, not bad at all. And what belt does Zurdo have?
WBO.
WBO.
That's where I went for is
So who's the number one on WBO? Number one contender?
Jesse Hart,
Okay, he's already beat him.
Callum Smith after that.
He's busy. He's in the World Box Super Series. He's got a fight coming with George Groves.
Rocky Felden, don't know too much about him,
Yeah.
but Jorgen Brammer.
We're very familiar with him. Super Series also. Who else?
Arthur Abram. Number 8.
Former world champion. Let's go to IBF. Who's number one? Who's the champ?
James DeGale.
James Gow just got his win, beating Caleb Trucks. Who's number 2 and number 3?
Number 2 is we got a number 1 not rated, and Caleb Sweet Hands Plant.
How does number 1 get not rated? Is there a bigger insult to that? Like, you number 2 contender. Who's number 1?
It's another politics with it. Come on.
Oh my God. Okay, who's the WBA champ? 168, super middleweight.
George Groves.
That's a good matchup. He's busy right now. World Boxing Super Series. And who's the WBC champ?
David Benavidez.
Okay. So if you're Zurdo Ramirez in his camp, we know who you got to face today. Who is the guy that you think gets that best shot next?
I don't know, man.
You don't know?
No, not
168
yet.
pounds stacked. Zurdo Ramirez, I feel like that's a name they got by mistake. It should have been Zorro and just misspelled, or maybe we misread it. Make sure you download that Squared Circle app. It's available on Google Play and iOS. We're coming at you live at Hub City. Don't forget to check out my man at imrcf.com. You get a workout and a show on my man Shoota. How we winning again? What is it? Chase the girls or something?
The process can be just as exciting as the final product.
Get the girl, grab the money, and run, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Souls of Mischief, 1993. One more time, please. Trust the process about what?
The process can be just as exciting as the final product.
And the chase is always just as exciting as the kill. That's what I'm talking about. And I don't mean hunting because I'm not a killer at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about You know what I'm talking about. Getting in them sheets and winning, baby, because that's what we're about. Make sure you hit us up on Facebook.com/Squared Circle 101 or hit us up on Instagram at Squared Circle 101 or talk a little smack to us on Twitter and download that Squared Circle app. And don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. You can see how pretty or ugly we are, depending whether you like men or women. I don't know. But make sure you hit us up on there. You know where to find us. And someone give me some feedback. I know you're out there listening. I can hear you breathing. Talk a little smack to us. Tell me something. Even if it's just a shout out, I don't mind a little bit of an ego boost. How about you? You got anything to say, my man?
Nah, man, we're good.
I'm out there.
Shit.